Oh boy, this is going to be a train wreck to get into. Hey guys, welcome back to some more videos. This time I'm going to be reviewing some episodes from Season 7 of SpongeBob. I finally hit that 200 mark on my subscribers. Thank you guys for the support, I really appreciate that. And now I have my reward video. The next one won't be till next week. I do have 2 reward videos. I do. The next one will be next week, and that is because it's like impossible to do videos during the weekend just because I got a little brother that is loud and stuff. So yeah, and my dad yells at him a lot, so I don't want that to be in the background. So the video will be next week. However, I will be doing this video this week. What is this video going to be, you ask? Well, I'm going to be reviewing every episode of SpongeBob, the Legend of the Bikini Bottom episodes. If you guys don't know what they were from Season 7 of SpongeBob. Now, Season 7 of SpongeBob was not very good. In fact, Season 7 of SpongeBob is known for having some of the worst episodes of SpongeBob ever. I'm not joking, I'm serious. There's some really bad episodes in this season. One known is One Course Meal, someone's in the kitchen with Sandy. Even episodes like the SpongeBob episode where SpongeBob gets a pet and and tries to keep Gary happy, pal for Gary, that episode, that infamous one. I actually reviewed that episode on my channel. That one was really bad to sit through. But yeah, basically Season 7 has a lot of bad episodes, really bad ones. Season 6 had bad episodes too. Season 6 and 7 of SpongeBob are kind of, honestly split. Some people think it's worse than Season 6. Some people think Season 7, 6 is worse than 7. It kind of depends on who you ask. Now, I can't really say which one is worse because I'd have to review the entire, both seasons of the show, SpongeBob, which I won't be doing right now. Instead, we're going to be looking at the Legends of the Bikini Bottom episodes that came out back in 2011. So they came out over a decade ago. That's how long they came out. And my God, I feel old. I feel old right now, considering how long those came out. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about each of these episodes. Now, basically, what they are is they're supposed to be legends of the show. They're supposed to be legend episodes. I'll kind of go into each of them when I review them and tell you guys my thoughts on them. And I'll tell you guys about the whole legend thing at the end of the video. So, yeah. But anywho, without any further ado, let's go ahead and start the review. The first episode is the monster who came to the Bikini Bottom. So this episode right here, this one is about Patrick accidentally creating a monster, I guess, screwing around I'm not even sure where the heck he's at. He's just screwing around with I guess, toxic waste or something, and he creates this monster, which I'm not gonna lie, the monster himself actually looks kind of cool looking. I'm not gonna lie, I like the design. I do like the design and stuff, but the main problem with this episode is it's not really the design of the monster, because like I said, I like the design, I think it looks cool. It's the fact that this episode feels really boring. Yeah, you heard me right. This episode is kind of boring. So, what is it about exactly? Well, it's about, again, like I said, Patrick accidentally creating this monster, which sounds like a cool idea. Him being friends with the monster, that sounds like a cool idea on paper. However, they kind of screw up this idea by making Patrick being an idiot throughout a lot of the episode. He's being an idiot, and they don't do a whole lot with the monster himself. Now, we've had episodes where Patrick's been stupid in the past. Like, in season 5, there was an episode of where he, I think it was called Rise and Shine. Yeah, that's what it was called, Rise and Shine, where he was being an idiot there. But that was only for like 4 minutes. This is an 11-minute episode here. This is 11 minutes long. And the fact that Patrick is being kind of an idiot, he's being stupid throughout the entire episode, is kind of just dumb. Like, there's even one point where he's freaking having the monster smell his armpit. Like, that's just disgusting. That really is. That's really disgusting. It really is. And I mean, some people might find the humor kind of funny, like fart jokes or something, but I really don't find the smelling the armpit jokes that funny. I think they're just stupid and lazy. The thing is, this whole episode is just lazy. It really is. It's just lazy, and they don't do a whole lot with the monster himself. They really don't. But yeah, they don't do a whole lot with the monster. And yeah, so, but basically though, the thing is, this episode just feels like a whole nothing. It just feels like it's nothing, really. And I feel like they could have done more with the monster, but they really don't. I mean, at one point, he freaking destroys houses and crap and all that, and it's just kind of annoying. But it is kind of annoying when he does that. But basically, at one point, he freaking destroys Squidward's house and all that, and I'm not gonna lie, in this season alone, Squidward's house has been freaking destroyed like so many times. Like, I'm not kidding. It has. It's been destroyed like so many times. But it's been destroyed, who knows how many times throughout this season. Like, a lot of seasons in this, well, a lot of all episodes in season 6 through 8 have Squidward's house be destroyed and stuff. And it's not really funny. It's just like a constant joke, a running joke of shitting on Squidward. Basically, it's just shitting on Squidward. Now the thing is, it's about really the only thing that's really frustrating about that part of the episode. Really, is that the fact that SpongeBob and Patrick don't seem to really are just idiots and don't mind their houses being freaking destroyed, which is kind of stupid. There's also another joke I gotta say. I probably say there is at least one more in this episode that I don't like, and that is the joke where SpongeBob is freaking like throwing a fit and stuff because and crying because they don't have an ice maker. They make it so freaking dramatic. They really do. It's supposed to be funny, and it ain't really funny at all. It just makes it sound stupid and stuff and all that. But yeah, basically though, it's just stupid humor and all of that, and I really don't really get the humor in this episode. It's just dumb jokes and stuff that make SpongeBob and Patrick idiots, and then they have SpongeBob throwing a fit about freaking ice and making it all dramatic. It's just not funny. It's really not. I don't really have much really to say about this episode. I really don't. It's just, this episode's just, it's freaking boring to sit through, and it's not really frustrating. Like I told you, those are the only two, the monster destroying the house, and SpongeBob and Patrick not caring about their houses being destroyed, and then the ice segment was stupid, but that's about really all that was really frustrating about this. Especially Patrick just being dumb and like having the monster smell his armpits and stuff, which is kind of stupid. That's really about it there. I'm gonna go ahead and say this episode is bad. Yeah, this episode is actually bad. And I'm gonna go ahead and give this episode, I'm gonna give it 36 points. Yes, 36 points. But it's going to get 36 points. The reason why I'm giving this episode a high score, though, is because this episode is not hard to look at, like some of the other Legends of Bikini Bottom episodes we'll be getting to, which are freaking hard to look at times. But the problem is it's just boring. There's not a whole lot to it. It's just Patrick being an idiot throughout a lot of the episode. It's just not funny. It really isn't. And I don't want to spend freaking 11 minutes seeing Patrick freaking sniff at someone's armpit. I don't really care. I mean, it doesn't really go on for 11 minutes, but it's basically about a couple minutes of the episode of Patrick being stupid, and then they trap the monster, and then the monster runs away, and the cops and all that. There's just not really a whole lot to it. And that may sound like a whole lot, because the monster doesn't get captured, but they really don't do a whole lot. It feels like the characters just don't stand out in this episode. They don't really stand out at all. They don't really stand out. But anywho, let's go ahead and go to the next episode. The Bikini Bottom Triangle. So this episode is about apparently mermaids are basically in the episode, and they create songs to get stuff. Basically, they rob people and take their stuff, because that's what they do. They take their stuff and all that. And they kidnap Mr. Krabs and all that. And I'm not really sure how they end up at the triangle in the first place. I guess that's their home, maybe. I'm not sure. I gotta say, though, I actually enjoyed this episode. Yes, this episode is a good... This episode is not just good, but this episode is going to get... I'm going to give this episode 120 points. Yes, 120 points. Yes, this episode is actually, unlike the last one I reviewed, this one actually has like a story to it, and the characters feel like themselves, and although it's not the most amazing episode ever, I wouldn't probably even put it up there with seasons 1 through 5 when it comes to good episodes. But this one is actually pretty enjoyable. I like the concept with the Bermuda Triangle, and I also really like the weird old guy or something. Well, he's not an old guy. He's like I don't know what he's supposed to be, but I like his sound effects. He's like when he's explaining the Bermuda Triangle. That's pretty funny. I really like that. Now, I gotta say one thing, though, about this. I don't really know why he's making Krabby Patties at the end and how he even knows the recipe, but he does. He shows up at the end of the episode and he's making Krabby Patties. But he's somehow making Krabby Patties, which I don't really get. How does he even know the formula? And he captures plankton. I guess maybe plankton could have told him the formula or something, but I really don't get that. I really don't get that at all. I really don't get that at the end, how he knows the formula. Also, we get to see Patrick having a thing for mermaids again. See, back in the pre-movie era, when we have that movie, we got to see Patrick in love with Mindy, which was pretty funny. We get to kind of see that again. I'm not sure if it's a throwback to that movie, but it's still kind of nice to see Patrick actually flirting with the mermaids a bit, or not really flirting with them, but more having a crush on them. That's pretty funny for him. So overall, I really like this episode. I especially like when Patrick actually happens to get his I don't forget what he called them, but he puts them on his suit and he's going somewhere. That's pretty funny. I really like that. So overall, this one's actually This one's actually pretty good. I really like this one. Anywho, let's go ahead and go to the next episode. This one I definitely would recommend. This one's pretty good. Let's go ahead and go to the next one now. The Curse of the Hex is basically another episode here that came out around that time. And this episode, I gotta say right here, this gal here, like, God, she is hideous. Like, her freaking design is hideous. There's even one point where she's freaking vomiting water. Like, God, it looks horrible. Like, it looks really horrible. I think she's supposed to be a leech or something. I think that's what she's supposed to be. No, or not a leech. There's actually a sea creature in the ocean. There is a sea creature that actually has, like, teeth in their mouth and stuff. I'm not sure what she is, but there's actually a creature like her. But the way they draw this freaking hagfish, she looks really hideous looking. Like, she looks hideous looking. Like honestly, like when you see her throw up that, like, water, oh my God, it looks pretty bad. I actually thought about doing an emoji here. The emoji's supposed to be me. That's why there's emojis at the bottom corner down there. Those emojis are me, are supposed to represent me and my emotions. Since I can't do avatars right now, that's why I have those emojis. That's why they're there. But I thought about doing a puke emoji where he's where she's vomiting, or even one where the emoji is not vomiting, but like has a puke, like a green face. I don't know why I classified the emoji as a he or she. I kind of don't really have a gender. My gender kind of goes back and forth. So yeah, I don't know why I classified it as a he or she, but but that's basically what the emojis are for down there. Also, the date up here too, I forgot to mention that. The date at the top this is the same date as all the other ones. All the other episodes here were released around the same time. They were basically an hour-long special, so they all came out around the same time. So yeah, they all came out around the same times. Well, basically the same time. So I made them all have the same date. Now, one thing weird about this episode is that on Paramount, if you watch all the episodes on there, which I decided to do because I didn't feel like getting my DVDs out just to search for these episodes. I could have done it like that. I could have, but I felt like because I already had Paramount Plus and I didn't want to dig through like a crap ton of episodes just to find these, I figured I would do that because with season 7 there's like 4 discs. There's 4 of them for the seasons. I didn't want to go through all 4 discs just to get to that. So that's why that's there. That's why that's there. That's why I decided to do that. But apparently this episode is the last one to air. Well, was to show on the hour-long episode thing on Paramount. But when I look it up on the Wikipedia, it says this one comes out around this order here, the way I'm showing it right now. Now, I was like, I watched it on Paramount, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this episode was not the last one to air. And it wasn't. It was SpongeBob, because I remember watching Jim on his seasonal 7 review stuff, watching him review that, and yeah, I saw that, so I saw that. But anywho, enough about that. Yeah, it basically aired out of orders, so I'm basically reviewing it like this, the way the Wikipedia says it. The Wikipedia ain't always true, but this is how Jim, I think, did it too on his channel, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it like this. So anywho, yes, besides the hagfish looking really hideous looking and making me want to throw up in a bag or something, how is the episode itself though? Well, the episode, it's all right. I mean, it's okay. I mean, there's not really anything really terrific about it. Basically, the thing is, though, is the old hag wants to go in after hours to get a Krabby Patty. And Squidward doesn't want to give her a Krabby Patty because it's after hours, it's time to close. Usually Squidward's kind of a dick to the customers, but for once I kind of agree with him. I'm like, it's after hours. It's time for Squidward to go. It's time for him to go home and rest, because that's what, I mean, if you go to a real restaurant, they're not gonna let you go out in after hours to eat. But apparently she wants to pay for a Krabby Patty, but she doesn't have any money, so... She doesn't have any money, though, so basically what she does is, because Mr. Krabs won't give her the Krabby Patty, she basically curses the Krusty Krab and stuff, and, I guess there's not really a whole lot going on here, and basically, though, to lift the curse, SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs are forced to go to this yellow worm-looking thing and take a coin. Which I gotta say, I kind of find it funny how he slightly punches it. Like, he doesn't even punch hard. He punches softly, and then it's enough to knock a coin out of this worm. I'm not sure why this worm had the coin in it. I'm not sure. Like, if this woman and this worm had a bad relationship or something. I'm not even sure. This worm, though, his design, basically he has he looks like he's tired or something. Like, it's really weird. Like, yeah, it's basically weird. Like, if you guys watch the episode, you guys can see how, the worm just looks like he's tired. Like, I mean, yeah, he just woke up, but it looks like he doesn't have any sense of humor or something. Basically, he's just dim-witted looking. Kind of like they do with designs and stupid characters on TV shows and stuff. That's kind of what the worm looks like. I can't really describe it too well, but there's just something off about the worm's eyes and stuff. They just look off. But I do like it a bit and all that. But unfortunately, that's about really it. I mean, there's some jokes, and there's a joke where these guys are these customers are bringing their umbrellas and flying out of the tornado or something, and then one person doesn't bring his umbrella. That lucky son of a bitch actually lives, which is good for him, because tornadoes are pretty deadly. They're pretty deadly. So at least he lives, but yeah, it's pretty lucky for him. But basically, though, for most of the episode, it's just nothing. There's really nothing to it. However, unlike the monster who came to the Bikini Bottom, at least this episode has something to it. Like, it has a story to it, and it doesn't feel too stupid. So that's the problem with the monster who came to the Bikini Bottom. That episode just felt stupid. Like, it felt kind of stupid, and I just didn't really care for it. That's why I got it bad. This one, at least, none of the characters feel too stupid. They feel all right. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a meh. Yes, a meh. It's definitely getting a meh. However, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a score of 2 between 0 to 120 points. This one is going to be getting. I'm going to be giving it 49 points. Yeah, 49 points. The reason why it's getting 49 points, though, is because there's really nothing to the episode. Like, if it were on TV, I would watch it if it was on TV. But basically, though, otherwise, I probably would just, I really wouldn't care to really watch it too much. There's much better episodes out there. There really is. I mean, there's even another cursed episode in this season where the Flying Dutchman turns SpongeBob and Patrick into ghosts. That's more entertaining than this one. But this one's still all right. I mean, there's nothing bad about it, but there's nothing really good about it either. the reason why it's getting a meh though and not a bad like the the Legends of, well, the Monster Who became to the Bikini Bottom episode is that one. The reason why that one's a bad is because that one I felt like it was just stupid humor and just having Patrick do random stupid stuff that's not funny throughout the episode, and then they freaking destroy houses and all that. And this one at least has some sort of story. And yeah, it leads to kind of just not really much after that, but I think it's alright. Besides the ugly hackfish and her hideous design that makes me want to vomit, I think the rest of the episode is pretty good. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to the next episode. The Main Drain is next. So, The Main Drain is another of these episodes, and this one is, most people hate this episode. Most people really hate this episode, but I don't think I found one person that actually likes this episode. And I gotta say, I think it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I don't think it's awful like other people stated, but I don't think it's really that good either. I still have problems with the episode. I still feel like the story's kind of slow and all that, and Mr. Krabs wanting them to stay away from this drain. For some reason, he doesn't want them pulling a drain out of a sink in the Krusty Krab, but he doesn't mind. Like, I don't really get it, because he wants them to stay away from the main drain. Like, you just told them about the main drain, and I mean, if you didn't tell them that, they wouldn't even go looking for it. I mean, I really don't get why he just told them about it. I mean, yeah, they were pulling the drain plug and stuff, but I felt like that was kind of lazy. Like, that was just lazy there. The way they just had Mr. Krabs just suddenly tell them about that. Like, I felt like maybe they could have found it in a book or something. They could have found it in a book, or maybe SpongeBob heard. SpongeBob heard Mr. Krabs blabbering on about it in the past or something. I really don't know. The way they handle it though, where Mr. Krabs decides to tell the story by SpongeBob pulling the plug in a sink, just feels kind of off. It feels really off. Because I'm like again, like they wouldn't have went looking for the freaking drain if he wouldn't have told them that. I really don't get it though. But there are some things I like about the episode. I think their way of traveling to go to the drain was pretty funny. Like them using a school bus, like a balloon school bus, and all that. And then there's a one where they're using Patrick's rock, and then Patrick pulls it. That's pretty funny. But there's just like the last episode, there's just not really a whole lot to it. There really isn't a whole lot to it. Like, if you honestly watch it, like, I just watched it a second ago, and I can't even remember a whole lot about it. That's saying something. Now, I told you guys, I watched these episodes, I watched all of them at once, because they were an hour special on Paramount Plus, but that's how they were set up. But I don't remember much about this episode, and that's the thing. I don't know. I really don't care for this one too much either. But this one, at least, like I said, there are some moments I do like, and also we get to see Mr. Krabs and Plankton at the end as child pulling the plug, which is a nice throwback. I like that throwback. I like the throwback to it. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice throwback to, like, Friend or Foe, which is pretty nice. I wish we could see more of that. That'd be kind of cool. But I gotta go ahead and say this episode is meh. And I'm gonna go ahead and give this one, I'm gonna be giving it 41 points too. Yes, 41 points. Yeah, this one was so close to getting bad. It really was. I was kind of honestly split on it. I was thinking about giving it a bad, but then I'm like, there are some things I do enjoy about it that are worth going back to it. But just like the last episode, this one just doesn't have much to it. It's just like a random episode that they have on here, and it just feels like out of place, and it does. I mean, the whole concept of a main drain sounds like a good idea, but for one thing, like, how the heck did if Plankton Mr. Krabs did like pull the drain plug, how is everyone still above the ground? How the heck are they all above the ground? And then and it turns out it's a dream, but it's not, because you can hear the watering at the end, because SpongeBob was reading Patrick a bedtime story. You could hear the water draining down, so on the sewers or something. I really don't get it. I don't really get the whole point of the main drain. It just, I don't get how they ended up bringing the city back up. I really don't get all that. The whole thing is just so confusing. The ending's confusing. It really is. It makes no sense. I mean, I do like the throwback with Plankton and Mr. Krabs from Friend or Foe and all that kids. That's pretty nice, but for the most part, I just don't really care for this episode either. This one was so close to getting bad. It really was. It was so close. It's not really frustrating. It's just forgettable. It's really, really forgettable. It really is. But I don't have much else to really say about this, so I guess we can go ahead and move on to the next one. The next one is Trench Billies. Trench Billies is next, and my God, out of all the episodes in the Legends of Bikini Bottom, this one is the absolute worst. This one is just freaking ugly to look at. Look at these fucking things. Look how hideous they look. They look all fucking hideous as hell. They just look hideous. Has anyone ever seen, this disgusting looking designs on characters? They look freaking hideous. They really do. They look really bad looking, and I really don't freaking care for these designs at all. I mean, they could have made them look like normal looking, creatures and stuff like that. I mean, in season 1 we had, basically they're supposed to be based off of anchorfish or something like that. But we had that episode in season 1 where they go to rock bottom, and we see fish like that, and they have pupils. These just look freaking hideous looking. Even if you give these fish pupils, they still look really hideous looking. And I know they will, because first reason I already knew that because I had it pictured in my mind. And second reason, there was a picture on Google I found with Plankton's family, and then the mother of these hideous looking disgusting creatures having pupils too, like Plankton. Well, she had one pupil because at Plankton's eye. It still looks hideous though. They freaking just look so bad. I freaking just don't care for these creatures. And my God, their freaking accents. Their freaking accents are awful. They're freaking awful. They really are. Now, I've got nothing wrong with Southern people. I mean, again, Plankton's army. Plankton's army actually has decent looking characters. I mean, not decent. They're actually good looking, and that you can actually understand what they're saying. Here, I can't freaking understand what the hell these things are saying at all because they're freaking just jibber jabbering. I really don't get it. It's just freaking hideous to look at. It's freaking hideous. It really is. And the thing is, though, there's not really a whole lot going on in the episode either. But this one's probably, out of all the episodes, this one's probably the worst one to look at. Now, I will say, I do like the land that they're in. I like the background of it. It looks pretty cool. It's kind of it gives me the episode Rock Bottom vibes, where you get to see a cool background and stuff. But I'd much rather watch that episode or Anchorfish in it, or even Plankton's army over this piece of garbage. This one's just freaking hideous to look at. It really is. I really can't stand the way these characters look. They freaking look awful. And in fact, this is how bad it is. I'm actually happy when one of them freaking blows up. When one of them actually blows up, when Patrick's playing music. That was actually funny because it's satisfying to see these freaking things blow up. Especially the fact they were freaking trying to kill the SpongeBob and Patrick because they wanted to go home. Because I really don't get the whole point of why they want them to be part of the villagers. I really don't get it. Like, they want to take care of their mom or something, but I'm like, I really don't get that because can't they do it themselves? I really don't get it. It's just freaking hideous to look at, and yeah, I mean, even Jim pointed this out. Jim was actually even admitting that their designs, that one of them blowing up was even satisfying. So I'm not the only one who thinks that. So that's good. But yeah, it's basically just frustrating to watch this. Well, not really frustrating, but it's just hard to look at this episode. And that's not a good thing. It gives me the Splinter vibes, is what this episode gives me. And even that episode, the Splinter's only gross to look at towards the end of the episode. This one's freaking throughout the entire damn episode. The entire damn episode, we're looking at them doing that. And this is not the only gross out humor we have to see. There's also moments where SpongeBob and Patrick literally slam their heads into each other twice. One is like face, and then the other is actually their heads. And it's slowly showing their teeth, them crushing their skulls and them breaking their teeth. Some people might find that funny, but I find it just disturbing. I really do. So I have to say, this episode is definitely bad. And not just bad. This one is probably going to get... I'm going to give this episode 0 points. I'm going to be giving it 0 points, though. So yeah, 0 points. There's really nothing to really go back to this episode. There's really nothing to go back to. This episode is just forgettable. It's ugly to look at. I really don't care for this episode at all. I really don't care for it. I think it's just there's much better episodes out there like this that use this concept and actually use it well. Like I said, Plankton's Army is an example. They have southern people there from the south or something, and they actually make them good. Like, good looking, and they actually have decent accents we can understand. I don't like these characters because they freaking not only look horrible looking, but they also want to kill SpongeBob and Patrick and basically turn them into freaking slaves. I just don't care for these characters. I just don't care for them. And at the end of the episode, Mr. Krabs actually is forced to marry one of them. That poor bastard. I feel so bad for him. I really do. Which is saying something because I don't normally feel bad for Mr. Krabs, but I kind of do here because of how bad those things look and how they're horrible characters and stuff because they don't treat outsiders right. You know, just this episode just freaking sucks. I'm gonna move on because I don't have anything else to say. So the last episode of the SpongeBob Legends of Bikini Bottom episodes is Sponge Kano. So Sponge Kano. So this episode is it doesn't start out very well. It really doesn't. It starts out where Squidward is basically bitching and moaning about how much his life sucks and stuff, and then we got him treating he's treating the customers like shit and stuff. Yeah, that's a pretty good start. And I guess it goes with the volcano or something because the volcano is erupting and this dolphin comes out and says they need to sacrifice the most miserable person to save the town. I guess. I really don't care for this episode either. I really don't care for this one. This one is freaking just frustrating. Number one is mainly the number one thing is Squidward. This one probably would have got a net, but Squidward is just freaking unlikable in this episode. Now, I know he's supposed to be somewhat unlikable. Like, in the past episodes, like in the first season, there's an episode where SpongeBob is wanting to perform on stage, and Squidward is being a dick and won't let him do it. But for the most part, even in that episode, Squidward's not completely unlikable and stuff. And, he's not completely unlikable. And there's episodes where we see him where he's a jerk, but he actually becomes a better person. Like in Christmas Who, he becomes a better person. He actually helps SpongeBob out, make him feel better. There's pizza delivery. That episode, he's nice at the he's a jerk, but he becomes nice at the end. Helps SpongeBob out. Even in season 4, the mattress episode, where Squidward's being a total dick and gets what he deserves. Those are fine, but they make him way too unlikable in this episode. Way too unlikable. Or even if he gets punished, like he lost his house, but I still freaking hate that we have to sit through him constantly bitching about not liking his life and stuff. We already know Squidward has a rough life. We already know about that. We don't need a whole episode with him bitching and about the stupidest thing throughout the entire damn episode. So yeah, we don't need a whole episode like that. And the fact that it drags on throughout the entire episode, it's just frustrating. It really is. And of course, at the end, it turns out it's the house. Yeah, I mentioned the house, because the house is, when he lists his house. His house was the one that was supposed to be sacrificed, not him, because that's what the dolphin said. That's what the dolphin said. Apparently, they didn't let him finish his sentence and all that, but I really just don't care for this episode either. This one's just frustrating too. This one's actually frustrating. And the thing is, though, that out of all the Bikini Bottom episodes, well, the Legend ones, this one probably doesn't really feel like a Legend episode. It really doesn't. It just feels like an ordinary episode. Like, it feels like something we would have seen, like with a volcano or something in another episode. Well, I guess Trench Billies could probably be like that too, but this one's probably the one that doesn't feel like a legendary episode at all. It just feels like a generic, ordinary episode we would find somewhere else. So, yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and say this episode is definitely bad, though. This one's definitely bad. This one is bad, and it's going to get 16 points. Yes, 16 points. Although this is not as hard to look at as the Trench Billy episode, where that one was really horrible to understand and to look at. At least this episode, you can look at it and it looks nice. But I just don't care for this episode either. I don't care for this one too much. This one just is not. I mean, Squidward being a total dick throughout the entire episode, I just don't care for it. And yeah, they can make a character be a dick and make it funny, but here it's just him bitching about his life and all that, and it's just pointless bullshit that we have to deal with throughout the entire episode. So yeah, this one's not forgettable. It's more frustrating than any of the other ones, but I still don't care for this one either. So anywho, that is all of the Legends of the Bikini Bottom episodes. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So between 0 and 120 points, what am I going to rate these Legends of the Bikini Bottom episodes? Well, considering most of them are actually bad and only one's good, I'm going to go ahead and give this episode here. Well, this one's going to get 5, watch it, it's going to get 11 points. and it's getting a bad. Yeah, this is definitely a bad. It's a shame too, because this sounds like a good idea on paper, but most of the legends of the Bikini Bottom episodes have been really bad, and the ones that were meh were not that good of mehs. They were close to being bad. So yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad that they got to this. I mean, it's a great idea. I mean, it's kind of going back to what season 5 did of SpongeBob, where they had risk. SpongeBob took risk in season 5. Sure, they didn't always work, but when they worked well. So I think that what they were trying to do here, they were trying to do something different. But most of the episodes are just freaking boring, and one's like frustrating. That's the thing, most of them aren't frustrating, most of them are just boring, while one's actually frustrating and not boring. So we get most of them being boring, while the last one is frustrating. So yeah. But yeah, basically though, that's the Legends of Bikini Bottom though. I really don't have much else to really say about this. I really don't. I just wish that they could have done more to these episodes. And the fact that most of them were really bad, that's pretty sad, honestly. And most of them didn't even, I mean, they didn't really feel like legend episodes. They felt like just ordinary episodes that had a legend twist on them. I will say though, I forgot to point this out in the monster who became the Bikini Bottom. I do gotta say, I did like the music at the end of where Patrick and the monster were at the snow, mountains. I did like that music. That was pretty good. But for the most part, most of these episodes that were bad didn't have much to them that were actually good, that were actually enjoyable to watch. And even the ones that were okay or did were not great. Like I told you guys, even the Bermuda Triangle episode, that one was good, but that one was not as good as other episodes. So I have to say, yeah, this is definitely a waste of time, honestly. I feel like they could have just skipped the whole legend thing altogether. It was just a waste of time. But I will say though that there is one thing I want to show you guys that's left. This was the original picture I was going to show. I was gonna show this picture off for the Legends of for the Trench Bullies episode, but I chose a different one because that way you guys can see how bad the designs are a bit closer and stuff. But that's what I wanted to show you guys that. But yeah, that's basically what the picture is there. But yeah, basically though, that's kind of the whole legend thing though. Unfortunately, again, it's not really as good as a lot of people are probably hoping. It's just a waste of time. I felt like they could have just been ordinary episodes at this point. But I really don't know what else to really say here. I guess I will say one more thing though, is before I go, one thing is, thank you guys for the 200 subs. I do thank you guys for it. Another thing I will mention, that if I get to 300 subs, I will have another SpongeBob video where I'll probably tackle season 8's vacation episodes. I'll probably tackle those next. But we have to get to 300 subs first. Hopefully they're actually better than these episodes, because these ones were freaking just boring to sit through. They really were. They were hugely boring. I just didn't care for them too much. I mean, I did give some mess, but most of them were just bad and pointless. But yeah, I will try to do the, if you get to 300 subs, I will try to to do that. I will try to give you guys I will try to give you guys another SpongeBob video, because most of mine actually hit over a most of my videos of SpongeBob have hit over 100 views, which is pretty good. So yeah. But I will also have I told you guys at the beginning of the video, I will have my other surprise video for next week. But anyhow, guys, thank you guys for the 200 subs. I really appreciate it. Remember, if I get to 300 subs in the future, I will have the other SpongeBob video ready. Anywho, this is Dash Show Rose. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys all next time. Bye.